You don't require magic, you require meaning. Because when a woman speaks with honesty, with ideal timing, and with calm inner strength, she doesn't just get noticed, she gets remembered, not only in the mind, but in the physical being. She is felt in a way that lingers, that remains. Let that truth settle in your chest for a moment. Let it breathe with you. Somewhere along the path, someone convinced you of a falsehood. They told you that to hold a man's focus, you had to behave in a certain way. Be a bit kinder, smile a little more, dress up, act cool, respond more quickly, pretend to be more relaxed, be more amusing, less genuine. You were given methods, tricks, guidelines, and polished acts. But here you are, still wondering why it doesn't succeed, why you can give so much and yet feel unseen. Have you ever noticed how some women talk a lot but create no impact? They are speaking but not truly being heard. Then there is that other woman, the one who barely utters a word. Yet the minute she opens her mouth, the whole space shifts. People move closer. Heads turn. That is not magic. That is skill. That is a woman who understands the weight of her voice, who isn't guessing. She speaks from her core, from a place deep inside. And that is exactly what we are revealing today. Before we explore further, take a moment for yourself. Press the like button, subscribe if you have not done so already. Do it because you are ready to stop being overlooked. Because if you have ever felt like you have been doing everything correctly and still aren't truly seen, what we are about to discover might just be the change you need. Now imagine this. You are standing at the edge of a calm lake early in the morning. The water is smooth like glass. You pick up a tiny stone and drop it in. Even that small stone sends ripples across the entire surface. That is what powerful words do. Not loud, not forced, not showy, just deliberate. A quiet sound that echoes long after you have gone away. But what are most women doing? They are throwing stones, yelling across the water, tossing out a storm of words, hoping something sticks. It does not. Because the secret isn't in how much you speak. It is in the frequency, the energy behind your words. Here is something you might not have been told before. The deep mind, that inner place where real attraction resides, does not react to facts. It listens to feeling. It responds to sound, flow, presence, meaning. Carl Jung said, "Until you make the hidden known, it will control your life and you will call it destiny." And that is not only about personal growth, it is about connections too. Because a man does not desire you because you explain yourself well. He is drawn to you when you spark something within him, something wordless, something he cannot exactly name but cannot stop thinking about. The issue is not that you are not trying, it is that you have been trying with the wrong methods. You ask, "How was your day?" He says, "Good." You follow with, "What do you do for work?" He gives a short reply, then quiet. Nothing holds. Why? Because your words did not go deep enough. They did not touch his heart or move his soul. And let me tell you, this is not your fault. You were taught to perform, not to connect. But that is changing now. When you learn to speak with influence, not just noise, but true emotional clarity, something changes. When you know not just what to say, but when to say it, how to say it, and how to truly mean it, you no longer disappear into the background. You are noticeable when you appear with steady energy instead of worried effort. People sense you, he senses you, and in that moment, you become unforgettable. You do not need 50 clever lines. You need 3 words said with your complete presence, with a tone that is calm but sure. You need that grounded grace, the kind that makes a man stop thinking and wonder, "Wait, who is she?" That is not trying to pick up. That is like a song. It is not control. It is drawing in. It is emotional smartness wrapped in a rhythm. If you learn to speak with importance, not just sound level, you will stop chasing focus and start naturally inviting it. Let us keep going. The human mind does not hold on to words. It holds on to energy. It remembers tone, flow, and how things felt. It is not the exact phrase that remains with someone. It is the feeling they had when you said it. Write this down where you can see it. People may forget what you said, but they will never forget how you made them feel. That is not just a common phrase, it is a basic truth, especially with men. He will not recall your exact sentence, but if it affected him somewhere unexpected, somewhere honest, he will carry that moment forever. Let me show you an image. Imagine walking into a dark room full of air-filled balloons. Each balloon has the same words on it. Hey, how are you? Just checking in. The air is heavy with the same thing. Now imagine you do not bring another balloon. You bring a single candle. You light it. That one flame attracts every eye. It warms the room. It makes people stop. That is what your energy can do when it is real, not rushed. Many of you hold back from speaking deeply because you are afraid. Afraid you will not be understood. Afraid you will seem too serious, too emotional, too grave. So you slip back into doing things without thinking. Fine, what's up? Safe, harmless, but not something you cannot forget, not exciting. You were not born to be just background noise. You were meant to stir something, but you were taught to stay small, to be polite, to never move the water too much. Polite does not leave a mark. Presence does. When your words carry emotion, when they create pictures, when they suggest a story, he does not just hear them, he experiences them. You stop being a line of text on a screen. You become a feeling he wants again, not because of what you said, but because of how you said it, because of who you were when you said it. So from now on, make this your new level. No more empty messages, no more quick talks just to fill the space. Every word you send, every voice message, every sentence spoken, let it come from something real, from you, not the version you think he wants, not the changed you who tries to fit in, just you. Stay close because what is coming next will open even more possibilities. We are going deeper now into how you create moments with words that do not just grab attention, but hold it long after you are gone. The 3 words that do not just land, they remain. They settle in his chest and echo in his mind, the kind that go past his thoughts and go straight into memory. Let us keep going. This is where the real change begins. Number 2, 3 words that quietly shift the whole situation. You and me. Sounds small, right? Not loud, not showy, but do not let the simplicity trick you. These 3 words are not just something you say, they are something you draw in the air. They create an image, a chance, a spark of shared energy. You and me, it is not a phrase, it is a reflection, a view, a moment. Say it with me now. You and me, it sounds gentle, maybe even usual, but that is why it works. Sometimes the biggest emotional changes do not come from big speeches. They come from quiet little phrases that slip right into the body without effort. When you say you and me, you are not begging, you are not asking for anything. You are softly planting a seed, a gentle image, a shared chance. You are speaking in the language of hint, not force, not chasing, not making anything happen, just opening a tiny window. Here is what most people do not know. The male mind, especially the hidden part that drives desire, does not respond best to facts or convincing. It reacts to pictures, energy, and feeling, not long explanations. Let us break it down in a way that sticks. Picture Denzel Washington looking into a mirror talking to his younger self. He would not say the right line. He would say, "Son, it is not about what you say. It is about what it starts." That is the truth. When a woman delivers a phrase like you and me with calm assurance and a quiet spark in her eyes, you do not just hear it, you see it, you feel it. Now imagine you are sitting across from a man. The feeling is easy. There is laughing. Instead of saying, "I like talking to you," you move closer with a slightly fun smile and say, "You and me could have dangerously good conversations." Boom. You did not praise him. You did not try to impress. You welcomed him into something. You painted a chance that did not even exist before you said it. You and me, we would win any discussions, especially if we are on the same side. Sense that? It is not a pitch to sell something. It is not a line. It is a moment, a flash of connection, a flicker of emotional interest. And yes, maybe a small voice in your head whispers, "Is that too bold?" Or, "What if he thinks I'm silly?" Or, "What if he does not reply?" Here is something important. You are not saying it to get a reaction. You are saying it to leave a lasting mark. And the beauty is that memory does not disappear easily. It stays. It sits in the air in his thoughts. Even if he does not answer right away, because this is not about chasing, it is about owning your space. This is self-belief, not control. These are the moments that make a man stop, not because he feels pressure, but because for the first time in a while he feels possibility. He feels something forming, a new door, a fresh thought. So next time the feeling is right, do not hold back. Do not go back into quietness. Do not try to act too cool. Drop the spark. Drop the mirror. Say it simply like it is not a big deal. Say it with depth like it is everything. You and me. It is not a trick. It is an opening. It is a path. Now, where we are going next, that is where timing becomes important. Because just like a match will not light if the wood is wet, even the most lovely phrase will not succeed if it is said too soon or too often. Stay with me. It is about to get clearer, more exact. This phrase is not about control. It is about confidence. You do not chase his focus. You create presence. Let that sink in for a moment. Because this right here, this is the turning point. You and me is not about trying to manipulate. It is not a trick to get him to see you. It is a reflection of how you see yourself. That phrase does not land because it is clever. It lands because of the way you say it. When you say it with calm assurance, it communicates something much deeper. I am not waiting to be picked. I am the choice. Remember what Jung said, the hidden mind is drawn to clarity, to symbols, to confidence. When you speak from a place of solid belief, you become that symbol in a world full of people doubting themselves, pausing, making themselves small. You become the guide. Let us look at it again. Have you ever heard someone ask, "Do you maybe want to hang out sometime?" That is not confidence. That is someone knocking on a door they already have the key to, but still asking for permission. Now, change it. Try this. You and me should check out that place downtown. That is presence. That is a feeling. That is leadership. That is a suggestion, not a request. And if he is on your level, he will follow the flow. Let me ask you, do you want to be remembered as the woman who walked carefully around her truth, or the one who said one unforgettable thing that made him feel something real? Because here is the thing. Energy tells the truth. You can say all the correct words, but if you say them like you are hoping they will stick, they will not. But if you say them with the knowing that your presence is enough, that is when something changes. That is when he tilts his head, looks at you differently, and realizes she is not like the others. It is not about being louder. It is about being deeper. It is not about being aggressive. It is about being steady. That is female strength. It does not shout. It does not beg. It just exists. It stands still and speaks with a quiet kind of certainty that pulls people in. So stop asking for an invite. Stop being the invitation. Because once you stop trying to show you are enough and start speaking like someone who knows she is, that is when the energy changes. That is when you stop being ignored, overlooked, or forgotten and start being felt long after the moment ends. And what we are getting into next, timing, the very sharp edge, where so many women wrongly miss the point, not because they say the wrong thing, but because they say it at the wrong moment, and how to deliver your truth without causing pressure. Stay with me. This next part is about being exact. It is emotional clarity. Your energy enters the space before your words ever do. Say the ideal phrase with the wrong sound, wrong timing, or worried body language, and it will fail before it even has a chance to succeed. That is the truth most people avoid, because it is not just what you say, it is how your whole presence carries it. You can say you and me 100 times, but if your eyes quickly look away, your voice shakes, your body shows you are begging, "Please like me," it will not work. Not because the words are wrong, but because the energy behind them is not steady. You and me would make a strong team. but notice how it changes based on how it is said. One woman says it with her arms folded tightly, eyes looking down, voice unsure and weak, almost hoping it sticks. The other says it with calm energy, open body, steady eye contact, just enough to be felt, not forced. There is a soft half smile on her lips that says, "I am fine either way." With or without your reaction, same words, totally different feeling, different mood, different effect. You already know which one remains in his memory. Calm confidence draws people in because it is uncommon, it is magnetic, it feels steady. Most people do not know how to be, they only know how to perform. And here is the thing, energy does not lie. Your energy tells a man whether you are standing in your power or reaching from a place of need and worry. No matter how nicely dressed, it still reveals itself. And you do not need to raise your voice or push harder to be powerful. You need to be present. Look him in the eyes, not like you are asking for something, but like you are simply meeting him there. Sit or stand in a relaxed way, not like your body is asking for approval, but like it already knows its worth. That stillness you feel when you are not chasing, when you are not scrambling for the right thing to say, that is your secret tool. Let it surround your words. Let it do the work with your words. When you say something important, then pause. Hold the quiet. That is when it settles. That is when it lands in a deeper place. We should stop calling it confidence and start calling it alignment, because your words and your body, they need to say the same thing. When they do, when your inner world matches your outer expression, he does not just hear you, he feels you. And that is the difference between a phrase that gets ignored and one that gets remembered. Now let us move to the next part, the part most women totally miss. When do you say it? Because timing is everything. Say it too early, it is pressure. Say it too late, it is a missed chance. But say it just right. And now you are not just talking to his mind, you are waking up his focus. Stay with me because this is where exactness meets power. Timing is sacred. Do not rush the moment. Do not throw your best energy into a space that is not ready to take it in. A smart woman does not speak for praise. She waits for the chance. And in the world of true connection, that moment is everything. You could have the most beautiful words, the calmest energy, the warmest presence. But if you say you and me too soon, it does not feel like a spark. It feels like a pushy request. And nothing stops connection faster than pressure. If it comes too early, he steps back. If you say it too many times, it loses all its importance. He stops feeling it. This is not just about words. It is about when you say them. The right time is when the energy is light. The mood is good. He is laughing. He is moving closer. He has opened the door. That is when you slide it in like it was always supposed to be there. Not loud, not forced. Just gently dropped into the space like a soft flame. Picture this. He is talking about his favorite food truck. You smile and say, you and me should go to that place. See if it is as good as they say. That is it. No pressure, no awkward wait. Just a moment, a picture. You did not ask. You simply stated it and then you let it go. You did not hold it tightly. You did not wait for approval. You trusted the seed would grow on its own. That is attraction. Not a shout, but a quiet sound that remains in the air. Most women hold on too tightly, trying to control the moment, trying to get a definite answer. But the woman who knows her worth, she drops the phrase and lets the quiet carry it. She knows the power of stillness. She knows he might think about it later when he is alone driving home. And unexpectedly, it hits him. You and me would make a dangerous team. And he smiles and he feels it. And he does not even know why. That is not control. That is meaning. That is echoing. That is a wave in his inner world. And the great thing, if he truly felt it, you will not have to say it again. You will not have to chase anything. You will already be echoing in him. This kind of woman, she does not just leave an impact. She leaves a symbol, a story, a little tale that lives just beneath his clear thoughts. She is not begging to be remembered. She becomes unforgettable by how she moves, how she speaks, and most importantly, by how she lets go. Do not chase reactions. Do not sit there waiting to be judged. Do not watch his face for signs of approval. Speak like a woman who knows how powerful her voice is, especially when she lets it breathe. Ow, we are stepping into the next part. The part most people completely miss. Quiet, the moment after, because sometimes what you do not say is the loudest thing in the space. Stay with me, let the quiet work for you. If you drop the phrase and immediately look for a reply, you have already lost the power. If you drop a phrase like you and me and then sit there looking at him, waiting for a smile, waiting for his agreement, that energy speaks and it says, I need you to tell me I said the correct thing. But you did not say it to get a good mark. You said it because it felt true. Let that sink into your chest. The quiet afterward is not empty. It is full. It is where the weight of your words can settle. It is the space that allows your energy to breathe. That is the difference between someone who performs and someone who sticks. Because a woman who is truly confident, she is not afraid of quietness. She welcomes it. She lets her words echo. She lets them stretch across time, even after the moment has passed, because she knows the right phrase said, in the right tone at the right time, delivered from the right energy that can stay with a man for days, even weeks. And what we are moving into next, that is where your words stop being tools and start becoming symbols.